minutes in our surveying and a little correspondence. Why don't I start? We'll make it official and call the roll. John DeWolf.
Here.
Good morning, John. Rob Lewandowski.
Here.
Good morning.
Good morning.
DeAndrea here. Bob Doan is on his way. Patty Maroney
Here.
is out.
I'm here.
There you are. Where are you? Well, I don't have you. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
Patty's out today. Regina.
Here.
Susan.
Here.
And Bob Dawn. And Jane Hardy. And Rachel, keeping an eye on us. So if I may, we'll just start with our correspondence, which was one. I don't know if anybody recognized it. There was a resignation letter from somebody named Swijek, and I have no idea who that is. Did anybody recognize him? How soon we forget, huh?
Where's he moving to?
He moved to
Colorado.
Littleton, Colorado,
Oh,
permanently relocated.
So what's being done to replace him?
If anything, Jane, probably nothing. The letter was submitted and that's it. Richard had sent in a name that he would ask Jane to submit for consideration. Other than that, I'm not aware of any progress at that point. Would you agree with that, Jane?
Yeah, I was gonna talk to Rochelle about that because I haven't submitted the letter yet, but I intend on doing that, and I'll touch base with Rochelle and see what she wants to do.
Okay. But it's official. He submitted his letter dated June 29th and regrets to submit his resignation to the board. And he's enjoyed his tenure on the board and made new friendships and professional contacts and support staff. But he's relocated to Littleton, Colorado.
well, we wish him well.
Yep. He's happy, I'm sure. Retired, mostly. Probably a good time to well, let's dispatch with our board meetings from June, or minutes rather, and a pretty thorough summary of all the discussion that we had regarding our policy for educational evaluation and discussion on degrees, which has been summarized one more time by the efforts of Al Regina to put together what we had discussed. And I want to have a little discussion about that just for my own edification, but that was well documented in our minutes. Other than that, it's a list of our applicants and decisions that we made relative to individual applicants. So if there is no edits or corrections, was there a motion to accept the minutes as presented from June 9th?
So
I'll make the motion.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Rob.
I'll
Thank you.
second.
Thank you, John. Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion to accept the minutes of June 9th as presented, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. We do have one item of surveying business, which is a applicant Daniel Cote for Class 6A exam credit Part 1. So Susan or Bob, any comment?
Okay. It looks like everything's in order. He passed his SIT just last month. He's a non-graduate, but he has 12 years and 10 months experience. The only thing I saw is he could have used one more endorsement by a licensed land surveyor. He had one in his experience, Francis Walsh, but he didn't actually have a signature from him. But other than that, everything appears to be in order, the, important stuff. And I would make a motion to approve that application.
Bob, you have a comment? You're muted, but
Yes.
we saw you say no. There you go.
There you go.
Yes, I second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion to approve Daniel Cote for Class 6A exam credit part 1, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. I believe that completes or covers the land surveying aspects and our minutes. So having no additional land surveying items, we appreciate your participation today, and you're welcome to stick around and listen or participate. With that, we'll move on to our applications and the rest of our agenda.
Have
So
a
on-
lovely month of July, everyone.
Yeah, have a good month.
Stay healthy and
Susan.
cool.
I'm
You
gonna
too,
go
Susan.
get some work. Take care. done
Enjoy
myself.
your engineering.
Okay,
Stuff.
thank you, Susan. Thank you, Bob.
Enjoy.
We
See you,
have a
Bob.
list of applicants on item D and of our regular agenda, page 2, which is a list of the candidates who took and passed the CBT NCWS exams for PE, variety of mechanicals, electrical, and mostly civil. Only 8 applicants took the exam between May 30th and June 5th. Item D3 is just something that I find interesting every month, is that we now have 45, which is actually down a bit,
Yeah, that's
normal.
down.
but only 45 applicants for reciprocity here in Connecticut. Then the next group of applicants that we have are applicants for Class 1 exam credit part 1. I reviewed the first 4. Excuse me. Burwell, Chang, Flynn, and Gautam. We had one foreign degree, very good, for Mr. Asim Gautam. Was evaluated from Nepal, bachelor's and master's from Nepal. The evaluation was very good, 170 credits, a UConn PhD in civil. So I recommend approval for that. Gautam. Also, Burwell, Flynn, and Chang, all good experience, all bachelors, all actively involved in mechanical, chemical, and structural, all 3 different disciplines. So my recommendation is to approve Burwell, Chang, Flynn, and Gautam for Class 1 credit part 1. Is there a second to
Second.
my motion? Was that Bob? Thank you, sir. Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion to approve Burwell, Chang, Flynn, and Gautam, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. John DeWolf reviewed Huang through Murillo for Class 1 exam credit part 1.
They're all model law and I move approval.
Thank you, John. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion to approve Wang through Murillo and for Class 1 exam credit part 1, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. And Bob Doan reviewed Newman, Sabo, Tobanrua, and Touch.
I make a motion to approve all 4. 3 of them have exactly 4 years of experience, and including last month. So I
Three of them.
encourage them to keep going.
Three of them each have more than 40 years experience. Is that what you
They-
said?
Only one has more than 4 years. Three of them have exactly 4 years.
Oh, four. I think you said 40.
Including
Oh,
last month, yeah. But I encourage them to move forward. Their experience is good and good educations and all the endorsements, so
So
I make a
second to the
motion I make a motion to approve all four.
Second,
Thank you, John. All those in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye.
aye.
Any opposed?
A couple
Hearing
of
none, that
mine
motion
had
carries.
just made the 4 years experience too.
Well, that's
So,
good. They're enthusiastic. They know what they gotta do. They did
Right.
it. I think that's fine.
Yep.
Rob Lewandowski reviewed Udin, Wheatley, Yagnik, and Zhang.
All right, so MD Taslim Udin, he has a Bachelor of Science Civil Engineering and a Master of Science in Civil Engineering, both from Bangladesh. And so he has a foreign degree. It was evaluated and determined equivalent. So that's good. When I looked at his experience, in his experience record, I think it's 2 years, 8 months working for a US firm. Then he has another 21 years working in Bangladesh. All right. And when you read, I mean, his experience record is not super long, but when you read his experience record, you don't know what he was working on in Bangladesh, but he was working in Bangladesh, and he references that he did work under ACI, IBC, AISC, AASHTO, ASCE codes. But I don't know if he was using those codes in Bangladesh projects, if he was using those codes working on US projects just sitting in Bangladesh. The reason why I bring it up is because when we tightened down our new regulations, we talked about having experience under US, let me get the right words here.
Working under codes, specifications, and regulations in the United States.
Yeah, I mean, are we, number one, are we ready to apply that? Number two, you know, by the book here, he's not in the United States, but he could have been working in Bangladesh on US projects, which I guess we can ask that question. I think by the book, I was gonna recommend denial, but maybe by the book, we can ask for a clarification on his experience record. You know, were those projects US-based projects, just working abroad?
I think under the circumstances that we're facing with our evaluation, policy consideration, I'm choosing my words carefully. I think it would be appropriate to say, could you expand on your experience using codes on what type of projects, you know, were they US based? Because even our wording right there, you know, we said the way it came out, regulations in the United States or code specifications and regulations of the United States. You know, what are we implying there? Physically working in the US or designing from afar?
I mean, with kind of globalization, you know, there are people working in other countries on US-based projects, which at least in my mind, that'd be okay. You know, because again, I know that's where my brain was when we're talking about that, you know, that you're familiar with US customs and codes and design practices.
I'm gonna guess that he probably was using US codes in Bangladesh.
Yeah, he said he was using US codes, but he didn't say if it was Bangladesh projects or US projects. And
Exactly, so asking him would be a good idea.
I mean, at least we give him the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
You know, he can explain himself a little further. Who's here? Jane? Jane, can you, or Rachel, I don't know who asked that question.
Yeah, I can take care of that.
I mean, if you
Yes,
look in
Jane.
his experience record, just, if you look he's working for the DEP and the DOT in New York for 2 years, 8 months, that's fine. It's the previous experience. If he could just clarify, where the projects were and give a little bit, were they US projects?
Or were they under US codes and specifications?
Yeah, ask both questions. Because again, in the description, he did say he was designing in accordance with ACI, IBC, AISCE, AASHTO, and ASCE codes. So he did say that, but it's a kind of a generic statement in my mind. So if we can just get that clarification. So I would recommend tabling his application till we get that, Tony.
Okay. So the motion is to table. Is there a second to the motion to table MD Taslim Udin for clarification of experience in design?
I'll second.
Who was that, Al?
Yep.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion to table Udin for clarification of experience in design using a US code, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing on that motion carries. Which leaves
All right,
us
and-
Wheatley, Agnick, and Zhang.
Yeah, the other three are straightforward applications, good degrees, US degrees, good signatures and good experience. So I recommend approval for the other three.
Your second.
Second.
Thank you, Rob. Robert. All those in favor of the motion to approve Wheatley, Agnick, and Zhang, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing on that motion carries. Then David Florin was reviewed by John DeWolf for Class 1 exam, credit parts 1 and 2, approved Class 1 license. It always gets a little confusing, but I understand. He passed both exams elsewhere and now wants a Connecticut license.
Okay, he has an electrical engineering degree from Georgia Institute of Technology in 1981, 45 years of experience. He took the first exam in 1981 and passed, and the second exam he passed in 1986. I've wondered why he hasn't been registered all these years, but he certainly meets our specifications, so I move approval.
I'll second.
Thank you, Rob. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. So he passed the exams, then submitted an application showing experience, endorsements, and we approve his license, correct?
Yeah, just as a clarification, he had a license in Connecticut and it expired. And with the new reinstatement, aka reapplication law, he had to reapply. But because he doesn't have a license in another state, he has to come back as an exam, in quotes, application, if that makes sense.
Okay,
Okay.
that explains what I was wondering about.
Yep.
I believe it's been moved in second. It has been moved and seconded. I believe there was a vote. All those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. The next applicant, Syed Amir Hassan, applied for a Class 1 permit, credit part 1. But we believe the application should be transferred from Class 2 to Class 1. So perhaps you can explain, Rob.
No, I can't. I was wondering what that meant myself. So I put my Class 1 glasses on. He passed the FE. He has a foreign undergraduate civil engineering degree. He has a master's in civil engineering from URI. So he was evaluated, his foreign degree was evaluated. NCS said not equivalent, that he's missing 11 hours in math and science. So he had all the right signatures. He had 9 years of experience, so everything else was fine, but he was missing 11 hours in math and science on NCES evaluation. So I thought that was a little bit too far to stretch him to say, okay, so my recommendation is denial. I don't know if anybody has any questions.
If he has a master's, he must have the background in science and math.
I
don't-
tried to
I
go
understand.
through and look. I tried to go through and look because when they evaluate it, John, they include the University of Rhode Island in the evaluation, and it said courses none. So none of the URI courses were included in the evaluation.
Well, they wouldn't be math and science anyway. They'd be more likely in the engineering. It just something doesn't
But he-
sound right.
Rob-
If he could
Rob,
do
how
all
many-
that,
How
He
many,
wasn't short in engineering, John. He was short in math and science, it said.
how many credits in engineering does he have?
70. With a
He-
NCS requires 48.
Right.
if
The
he
other
has
problem-
70,
well-
he has the science and math background that he would need, my view.
Yep. The other
Yeah, I
comment,
agree.
missing 2 of 3, biology, chemistry, physics was the second comment. So
I've
in
got
the
some
math
of
and
those.
science.
I've got those and I don't care about biology and that.
But they're,
What
they're
was his,
so,
what was his master's in? Just civil or structure?
It's civil. With these class 1 applications, they're a lot lighter. They don't really give you,
Right.
they didn't give the I mean, if we want, I mean, I'd be okay tabling it to get a better look at his master's degree. But, again, I thought 11 credits in math and science felt a little bit too much of a stretch to say yes, but if other people have other thoughts, I'm open to it.
My inclination is to go with John's assessment of, we had a good evaluation, except for the math and science. He gets a master's from URI. I think and he's got 9 years of experience in civil. I would,
He works for the
if
Connecticut
science
DOT.
includes biology and chemistry and he's in civil, I would recognize it as acceptable in this case. Not
Yeah.
reading the whole thing myself, but where was the foreign degree from? What country? Or where?
Uh, da, da, da.
Just for background comparison, because very seldom do we see 11 hours of missing.
Yeah, that's a surprise.
Yeah, I mean, one of the other applications I had 2 hours missing, which I felt that was close enough to stretch them. It's University Taxilia. I thought I saw it here somewhere. Yeah, I don't see where.
If we were to table it, Rob, what would be our request for information? A transcript.
I would say
of his undergraduate?
transcripts. I would ask for the transcripts because there's no
Yeah, okay.
transcripts in the application.
Well, then we should ask for it.
You know what I mean? Like, just get a better look at what, the only class listing they give is the NCES listing of what NCS recognized, but they didn't give the actual transcripts from the universities. So these class 1 applications are a lot thinner. So you're flying a little blind here.
sometimes we see these total credit hours of 170. One of mine was 170. You just make note of it and you say you have 170 credit and you didn't have 11 hours of science, or was it, 68 credits and he just barely made it or whatever. So sometimes that plays into it. But if we table it for a transcript of the undergraduate foreign degree, but that's a fair question.
And I think we should get both transcripts.
Yeah, well, yeah, URI and the
Okay,
University of Taxilia. wherever
And
that
we're
is.
looking for the courses he took.
right. Okay,
Yeah, so I'll make a recommendation to table it, requesting transcripts of the both degrees.
Second,
thank you, John. Thank you, Rob. All those in favor of the motion to table Hassan for the request for transcripts from the undergraduate and the master's programs. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. The next applicant group was for class 4. And right off the bat, I'm confused. So I tried my hardest, but I want to ask a question. So in our summary, we have a graduate of a 4-year engineering curriculum, and we have 2 sections, A and B. A assumes an ABET accredited 4-year engineering degree. And then we have a non-ABET accredited. What does that mean? What does a non-ABET accredited engineering curriculum, what is that? It's not technology because we cover technology in another area. So what is a non-ABET accredited engineering curriculum?
there are a couple options. It could be that it was a new program and they hadn't been accredited when the degree was offered,
Okay.
or that they lost accreditation.
But that would
Tony, you know what the accreditation process is, right?
I think so, but
I mean,
not.
John, I'm sure has been through it. When I was at Hartford, we went through it a bunch of times. I mean, the ABET comes in and they evaluate all your courses and all your requirements and say, okay, yep, these pass our standards, right? So, and so if you're ABET accredited, then in theory, it's a real consistent program with all the other ABET accredited universities, and they're at or above ABET standards. If they
Okay.
don't get accredited, they either haven't applied, they're not new, or they fell below the standard.
All right, so it's an infrequent occurrence that we have, that we find out during the application process that for one reason or another, it either is new, it lost accreditation, it's lacking, it's a new so, but it's
or it may just not be up to the standard neither, Tony. That's the concern probably.
okay. So that it's infrequent, most likely. Because we can have an engineering technology curriculum that ABET has accredited as a technology program, and we've identified that. But there are other technology programs that may not be up to standard. Okay, so being more comfortable in that it's not a regular or occurrence or not likely to be seen often, but we should be aware of it. Okay. All right, here's my problem with Mr. James Bowman. All right. He started out with a BS in engineering science. And then ultimately he graduated from SUNY Buffalo in June of 26. He started his education in the fall of 96. Okay. He's been working for a company of which he's a primary owner from June of 07 to March of 25. So he graduated finally in June of 26. He's got a New York license that expires in June of 27. He's got about 8 or 9 other states. I stopped counting, but Virginia, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, New York. So multiple licenses, and I didn't write them all down. I can read them off here, but it goes on and on. So my question is, can you appropriately apply requirement for experience following the degree when he's been working, effectively for over 20 years? He was licensed in 07 from New York.
So he was licensed without a degree?
Yeah, he was licensed and all these other states. So, but New York particularly, I just take New York as our closest neighbor. I put him at the top of the list. He's licensed in 07. It's good through 27. He's licensed in multiple states, but he's been doing, school, and he finally graduated in June of 26. State University of Buffalo, with a bachelor's in engineering science, SUNY, state of New York, August 24th to 26th, he finally graduated. What do we do with all that experience?
Was his previous degree evaluated?
It was not. It was not.
Then he doesn't meet the standards. He needs 4 years after the degree unless that other one was close and.
Unless
That
the
was the
other one
question
was
I was
what?
gonna ask John. Like, what classes did he miss one class, like a humanities class or some class to get that degree, and he
Right.
finally took it, and
No, that's not it at all. It's he truly was doing it spring of 2001, electrical engineering, summer 2001, electrical engineering, circuit analysis, fall of 2001, circuit analysis. He's working in plumbing, mechanical, fire protection is his cross section of experience. Then in spring of 2000 and fall of 2002, electronic developments and circuits. They're doing a lot of electrical engineering. Spring of 2003, keep going. Spring of 2025, summer of 25, fall of 25. He's been at it. In spring of 26, he finally graduated. Do we give him credit for the effort, or how do we pigeonhole an individual like that? And, again, I stopped counting, and I don't have it on this computer right now, but to count all the states, but it's more than 8, all current.
If we deny it based on lack of experience following the degree, let him come back and make a case.
Yeah, we keep adding that, we have always used it following the degree, but it's just an interesting situation for me.
I
And there's
agree,
no-
but
I agree with John. Let him come back and make a case.
All right. Would somebody like to make a recommendation to deny based on our policy? Because otherwise he's just a non-graduate, and we don't have that ability. It's like we can't fit him into any other category, even in our old regulation, other than considering him a non-graduate. But he is a graduate. He just finished.
I would move that it be denied for not meeting our requirement of 4 years of experience following the degree.
Okay, and it's a technicality that we have to abide by.
I'll second.
Second it out.
Mhm.
Any further discussion? Been moved and seconded to deny the application of James Bowman due to inconsistency with our policy requiring experience following the degree. Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion to deny James Bowman due to a lack of qualifying experience following the degree, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. See, every day there's something new. Let me just make another note here. Okay. John DeWolf reviewed the next three applicants, Fontaine, Keller, and Liu, for Class 4 reciprocity.
Okay, I'm going to start with Fontaine. And Fontaine has a BS in microbiology and an MS in CE, both New Hampshire. Has a license from California, Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont. Been in water treatment, 19 years experience. Never turned down for a license. And yet her undergraduate is strictly science, no engineering. Her master's had 35 credits, 9 courses in CE plus a thesis. She doesn't come anywhere near close to meeting the 48. And even then, she just has a science degree. So I move that Fontaine be denied for lack of a 4-year engineering degree or equivalent.
Did
Second.
NCS evaluate it, John?
No. I wouldn't even let them do it because, as I say again, she's only got 9 courses and a thesis that are engineering.
So the motion is to deny based on the lack of engineering curriculum,
4-year engineering degree.
4-year engineering curriculum and a science undergraduate degree.
Right.
So is there a second to the motion from
I'll
John?
second. I'll second.
Is that Al? Yep. Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion to deny Nicola Fontaine reciprocity due to a lack of qualifying engineering degree, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Leaves us with Liu and Musa. Excuse
Okay,
me,
Liu.
leaves me with Liu for John.
Liu has a BS in hydraulic engineering from China and a master's from North Dakota. The evaluation missing biology or chemistry, nothing else missing, 12 years of experience. So I will move approval of Liu.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Rob. Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion to approve Yang Liu for Class 4 reciprocity, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none,
Okay.
that motion carries. And Bob Doan reviewed Mahmood.
Wait a minute, I've
Musa.
got Keller.
Oh, Keller, I missed Keller, I'm sorry.
Okay. Keller has a BS and MS from University of Nebraska, has a PE, and everything is really good. The only problem on his was that he had a disciplinary case from the North Carolina Board of Examiners. They alleged that he failed to exercise adequate direct supervisory control and produce some substandard accurate report by leaving too much discretion to the contractor and failed to include all relevant information. That's the only thing that's negative on it, but everything else is good. So I'm going to move that Keller be approved.
I'll second that. And I also was given Keller to review, John. And
Oh.
and I was hedging my bet. I was waiting to see what you said, but I agree 100% with what you said. And I'll second the motion.
All those in favor of the motion to approve Chad Keller, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. I love the way Jane just, sneaks that in there to get a little consistency. I like that, Jane. Good job.
I also reviewed Shaw, but I don't see Shaw on the list.
Shaw. Oh.
Jay?
All right, Bob Doan, you reviewed Mahmoud Musa.
I did indeed. And
Oh.
I'm going to make a motion to approve him, but he has a foreign degree from Cairo University, 1992. He has a master's from New York University, '08, and a PhD from New York University in 2022, all dealing with, mostly dealing with transportation-related engineering. In his experience record, though, he uses the term REI in capitals, and he's not very descriptive. He just says he was doing REI. What is REI? It
I thought it was
But-
a sports store, but.
I
maybe
thought,
not.
yeah,
That doesn't qualify.
I did too. He has 25 years of experience, but he just didn't elaborate. But I didn't think it was necessary to send it back and get an elaboration. He appears to know what he's doing. He has good experience and certainly good education. The Cairo University degree was found equivalent with no deficiencies. So I make a motion to approve, but I still don't know what REI means.
I'll second.
All those in favor of the motion to approve Mahmoud Musa for class 4 reciprocity, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. Rob Lewandowski reviewed Matthew Setzikorn and Rohan Sharma.
I'll take them one at a time. So Matthew Setzikorn, he would be a model law engineer if the only reason he's not because he had past disciplinary action. In the state of Maryland, his write-up said he had missed or incorrectly submitted PDH summary hours, continuing education summary hours by 3 hours. State of Maryland caught him, and this was in 2015, and he completed the 3 hours and he had to pay a $500 fine. So otherwise he's model law. So I recommend approval for him.
Second.
Thank you, Bob. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. And Rohan Sharma.
Yeah, so Rohan Sharma is a foreign degree. They had a bachelor's in marine engineering from India and a master's in ocean engineering from Stevens Institute. 10 years experience, licensed in New York. The foreign degree was analyzed, evaluated, deemed not equivalent. It was missing 2 hours of math and science, but they had extra 19 credits in engineering. So I thought that was okay. So even with the being 2 hours short math science, I thought the rest of it was good. And so with that one, I recommend approval.
Second,
Second.
thank you, Robert. All those in favor of the motion to approve Rohan Sharma for reciprocity, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. Which
Tony, if I
leaves
can
us,
interrupt
yes.
for 1 second. John, can you look at the one you said you had Shah?
Right.
SHAH?
It
I
was-
might have, what's his first name is SYED?
Yeah, I didn't write the first name down, but he has a bachelor's from Peshawar Engineering Technology in 2001, 13 years, 11 months experience. with 6 years and 7 months in the US. Is that the one you're looking at, Jane?
Yes.
Okay, and he has the NCES evaluation. He's missing 3 hours math science, 13 hours of gen ed, 75 hours of engineering. So I found him perfectly acceptable. Should I go ahead and make a motion to approve?
If you could please, and then we can add him. I left him off somehow. I don't
Okay,
know what I'm doing. Thank you.
okay, so I move approval of Shaw. And I don't have the first name, but Jane does.
I'll second.
Syed. Thank you, Robert. All those in favor of the motion to approve Syed Shah for reciprocity with an engineering technology degree and 6 years experience in the US with 75 hours of engineering credits. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. Which leads us to the list of applicants for Class 9 license, which range from New Hampshire, Yukon, UMass, Central Connecticut, Western New England, Northeastern, a good cross-section, and the Chittagong University of Engineering and Technology, wherever that might be.
Yeah, that's the guy I reviewed.
Oh, Matt, MD Taslim, yeah. So, let's see, what did we do with MD Taslim before? What was that?
We tabled it to confirm his experience.
There you go.
He
Right
was
there,
under
yeah,
class 1 also.
that's right. Hold on 1 second. I just gotta, oh, there he is. Table, right. This was for the verification of experience on
US
designs and US
Oriented.
codes, yes.
US codes and projects. He just said he worked with those were all US codes, but he didn't say if he worked on US projects or Bangladesh projects.
Right. Was the application of the codes, of the US codes on US projects, right? That's really the question.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Just expand on your experience.
Expand on your experience using US codes. Was that applied to developments or projects in the US? Is that it?
This is for
Yeah.
class 9?
Yeah, this is for class 9.
Class 9 just means you've
EIT.
passed the first exam. I don't
Yes.
see what experience has to do with it.
No. We had previously tabled him
Oh,
for that.
Class
We
1.
had previously tabled for the exam, class 1.
oh,
He
okay.
passed the
Okay.
EIT, but we wanted to know whether or not the use of the codes, the US codes and specifications were applied to US projects, that's all. Again, because we've added the word in US. Working under codes, specifications, and regulations in the United States. So designing a project using US codes for a development or project in the US carries more weight, perhaps. That's the question. Okay. Right. That concludes our business according to our agenda. Was there any new or old business to discuss?
I mean, Tony,
If not-
you included a copy of that C1 policy.
Oh, that's right. We should discuss it a little bit more now. Is there any, I asked my question and you made me feel a little better on what I was misinformed about, but I think it's applicable, and we applied it today based on the experience following a degree, as uncomfortable as it may be. As a policy that we can defend, I think we gave it a little bit of a test today. And I don't know whether or not we want to make a motion to accept it, to put it into action going forward. I think we can.
I'm willing to make the motion that we put it into action.
I mean, I think we put a lot of effort into it, and I think it got boiled down to a nice, clear, concise policy that I think incorporated everybody's opinion. So I agree. I think might as well, right?
Yes.
Do we need to, under the foreign degrees, where we do have the equivalency, do we need to recognize that we have some leeway when they're not equivalent and missing humanities or sciences? If we're going to be absolute about it, we're asking for an equivalent degree, foreign degree.
We
I
have
mean,
we have non-equivalent, but that requires 2 more years of experience. And yeah, you're right. If they're missing general education courses, and so it's not equivalent.
Yeah.
But Bob, I don't think we're strict in this policy, right? The only thing we say is you have to get an NCS evaluation for consideration of their educational qualifications. So I do,
Okay.
I think it leaves it back to the board to
yes,
discuss.
as long as we have that flexibility implied or in there, I'm fine with it the way it is, and I'd like to thank all of you guys for putting this together. I think it's great.
Hey, Al, right? I mean, if that second paragraph up top, that sentence talks about the NCS evaluation for the board's consideration. I think that we're asking for an NCS, but it's not hard fast. It's for use in consideration.
Yeah. I'm comfortable with it because it changes. Here we were today, we had 11 hours. That's no good. 2 hours was fine. We made an assessment of the significance of it after we were advised of the deficiencies, if any.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So is there a motion to accept this?
I think I made it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Rob, your second, or Bob?
Sure. I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor of accepting our policy statement to be implemented going forward in the evaluation of applicants for licensure in Connecticut? All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. So we'll continue to apply it and see if we have any shortcomings as we evaluate each applicant, as we have been doing for 25 years.
Okay, here's my question. Is it necessary to go for any statute changes at this point?
I
Is there
think
any
it's
hope of that?
You like that one, John, huh?
Is there any
I
hope?
think it's
I wasn't sure whether it was a laugh or a choke.
Al, one of those exercises that I did with that big chart that showed every possible license in our regulation,
Mhm.
that was kind of the reason in my mind to do it, at least settle it in my mind. And honestly, I think everything that we have in this policy kind of fits within the regulation that's in place. We're just not recognizing some of the regulations like, waiving of exams and whatnot, so, but what we are applying is pretty consistent with the regulations, honestly.
In my opinion is if you go for a 4-year degree in the statute, it takes away your flexibility.
What, I was off mic for a minute. I put my papers down and cut myself off. So what I was about to say was that when Rob kept coming back with his, evaluation, he kept mentioning how the regulation was consistent, was already in the regulation. And as you point out, we have never been really asked to waive in a long time. It hasn't come to us as a request. So that was the biggest omission. Now we've established what the education should be. So we've effectively rewritten the regulation and the statute by policy. And that's what Huntsman advised us 20 years ago. Establish the policy and stay consistent with it as best we can relative to the statute that we're obligated to follow.
And twice today, you use this policy,
Yes,
okay? And you were able to work around using the policy as drafted right now to accomplish what you needed to do. And any changes in the statute, my opinion is that you would limit that ability. To function. Discretion, absolutely.
It's
Yeah, I
great to
agree with
have
you,
you
Al.
on
I
the board,
think the way
Al.
it's written, there's some flexibility with the board's consideration. I do agree with that.
okay. Well done.
Do we need to vote?
Was that done? We did. We did.
We
vote.
did.
Okay.
Did we
I-
vote?
John, I just added in my opinion, I didn't see necessary to do any statutory changes at this time. And I just wanted to close the issue by saying that. Okay.
Okay.
I think Richard should have hung around for a vote on this.
It would have been a decent thing to do, huh?
Yeah,
He may have been the dissenting vote, though,
yeah, that's true.
All right. Al, you got a job to do?
Not sure what you mean by that.
Well, I have nothing else on the agenda, so I wanted to know.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Motion to,
I'm already reading something else here. Motion to adjourn. Sorry.
Thank you, Al. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right. All those in favor say aye. Thank you for the meeting. And all those in favor
Aye.
of the motion to adjourn, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Have
All
a
right,
good month,
enjoy the summer.
everyone.
August 11th, we'll be back. The time is flying by.
Happy
Okay.
250 years, America.
Yeah.
It's quite a
See you
show.
guys.
Thank you. Thanks, Rob.
Okay.